Hey everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Just Build. We're here at the Party Palace because I decided to add a few more tables that I think it looks a lot fuller and a lot nicer. I think it looks really great and I enjoy it. I'm so glad I improved on this build. We're not going to hesitate today. We're going to get straight into this build right here. We're going to go into this little plot of land. So let's see what kind of blocks we're going to get today, and I'm very excited to do this build. It's got lore related stuff. So, weirdly enough, I didn't get the recording of 2 of the blocks, but I believe it was smooth sandstone and oxidized cut copper stairs, if I'm correct. I believe that is right. But yeah, I'll make sure to include them in the build, that way you guys can see it. And I'm so sorry that I didn't get the footage of that. I don't know what happened to my footage, honestly. But with that out of the way, let's get to building this new build. And I decided we go for another type of temple-like idea. So basically similar to how we did the Piglin Brute outpost, it would be similar to that. But we would just basically be, adding a little bit extra. And so I made sure that I got all my blocks. It was weird because I also had brown and purple candles as well, which honestly didn't expect that to happen. But I decided to make this a little bit lore based because I had no idea originally what I was going to do, but then I eventually came up with the idea to make a shrine. Now the idea I have for the shrine is that obviously there's different shrines for different gods or goddesses that may live in the Minecraft world. That is a bit of a loose end because I'm not exactly sure what kind of gods these would be specifically, but basically you have this type of god. Let's just say, for example, this would be the god of gold or something like that. And basically the idea is to have 2 little separate areas where you're offered 2 different choices and they help you with whatever you desire or ask of this god or goddess that you're asking help from. They both give you good things that can help you, but they both receive consequences. So basically, regardless if you choose one or the other, you're gonna get some possible bad luck on the way. So yeah, I thought it was a cool idea to make like a shrine type thing. Like maybe you sacrifice something to get some of these gifts, and maybe perhaps you get something in return, and obviously you get 2 different items to help, and you have to choose, but depending on which one has a more, worse consequence, it's kind of up to you. Maybe it doesn't tell you what the consequences are, maybe you just have to, kind of pick one and find out for yourself. Maybe it could be, random items, like maybe you're trying to get, an enchantment for your pickaxe, and maybe you can either get the levels, or you can maybe get a different type of enchantment. I don't know. It's a bit of a work in progress in terms of lore, but I think the lore itself is not a bad idea. And maybe there's different types of shrines for the different ores. I think that could be a cool little idea. So I decided to start by taking the ground and actually doing red sandstone slabs. Because I know we have biomes that use red sandstone. I can't remember which ones off the top of my head, essentially, but I know we do have them. I forgot what they're called. It's been a while since I've seen the biome itself. And then I took the copper stairs, and then I kind of went around making a small little a barrier right here, because I thought, it's a shrine. It should be kind of protected and sacred. That way you know what land is that of the gods and what is just random wilderness, I suppose. I thought it was a cute idea. And maybe the god or goddess could help the player in their world, depending if they worship this quote unquote god enough or not. Maybe if you worship the gold goddess over the diamond goddess, maybe obviously you'll get better fortune of finding gold. And so with that being said, I decided to go for the temple shape. I was trying to do something a little bit different than what I originally had, and I tried to kind of curve it in a little bit. I'm not sure what exactly, in terms of what I was going for, was. I think I was just kind of like figuring stuff out as they went. This was a bit more of a chill build, if I had to guess. So, yeah. I mean, it's a decent looking build. And obviously, like, I messed up on some parts because measuring's hard. Like, honestly, measuring is pretty hard. I eventually got the idea to add, like, this golden throne because I thought that would be kind of fun to use. Like, who wouldn't want a gold throne, you know? And then obviously I was trying to figure out what other blocks I could use, so why not use, like, the gold, like, the raw gold blocks? I thought that would be, like, a nice little touch. And then obviously I used more smooth sandstone, and I put some, like, little stairs. I didn't add the rooms yet because I didn't think about the rooms until, like, much later down the road. And obviously I extended the wall so that the stairs could fit, because I thought maybe, like, having it, like, kind of open, like, not completely closed off, was a good idea. At least I think it was a good idea, in my opinion anyway. And, you know, I tried adding some more to the top, but I realized it was like really small, and it wouldn't have much going on. I mean, I really wanted this to feel like an actual shrine, and I was looking at it and I'm like, what the heck can I do to this? Like, granted, I could add more gold, but that wouldn't make sense. I tried adding, like, a gold floor, but it didn't look right. Like, I think it was too much gold that I looked at. Like, just looking at it, I was like, no, this is too much gold. And I tried to connect the stairs as well to it, and, you know, I got rid of this little bit, and put more raw gold, and it just, it looked like an eyesore. Like, this did not feel very, like, elegant or goddess-like, because I feel like goddesses or gods would have more, like, you know, very well kept temples and places like that, because, like, you know, they're shrines, you know, they deserve to look good. And so I decided to test some of the terracotta, because, like, I don't ever use glazed terracotta, like, hardly ever. And I wanted to see if I could use it, maybe figure out which one would work. And I decided to go with the yellow one, because I figured, you know what, gold, let's try to keep the yellow theme. And so we got the yellow theme. I got rid of the gold floor, and then I would start slowly working on this. I will admit, this floor was a bit harder to do than I originally thought it would be. So I kind of kept going. And it was driving me nuts. Like, I almost quit on the floor because, like, I was getting sick and tired of the floor. I'm not gonna lie. It was a struggle. Like, I didn't think a floor would be as troublesome to do. Like, have you guys ever played Minecraft and you just have the worst luck with terracotta flooring? Like I don't know what it is about terracotta flooring, but you have to place it so precisely, and it's like, I don't want to. I just want to be able to place it. Like, glazed terracotta is just way too much work for me to handle, honestly. Like, I can't be bothered to deal with terracotta. It's just, I don't know. And not to mention, you have to get so many materials, like, I feel, to craft glazed terracotta, and then make so much of it. It's the same with concrete. I feel the exact same way about the concrete. I think concrete takes way too much material to make, because you have to farm so many creepers, mine so much sand, get so much dye. Like, the dye is not an issue depending which one you use, especially if you have, like, a skeleton farm and whatnot. But again, I think terracotta and concrete just take, like, such a long time to make. Like, it's kind of ridiculous, right? It's a crime with, like, how much it takes to make those items. And then this is the part of the build where I got the idea to add the extra room, so I kind of cleared this out, and I moved over some of the terracotta so that it would work. I made a simple little, like, 3x3 area because, like, I didn't want to put any more terracotta. I was running on my limit as it is with terracotta. But yeah, the terracotta ended up looking actually really nice, and then I made the barrier around pillar area because I wanted to give it off a closed space. I didn't want this part to be open, so I had to kind of break some of the red sandstone slabs so that I could try to build around the glazed terracotta. And honestly, I honestly think it worked out really well. It worked out good for what it did. Like, I did not think I could make a shrine that looked this good. Though, to be fair, I'm not always going out making shrines and other things like this. I normally don't make these kinds of builds. I usually make, like, very cutesy, you know, what you expect from cottagecore, essentially. I like making really cute builds. I like cutesy builds, which I might do a Minecraft series where I do tutorials on making super cute builds. I might do that if you guys are interested. Just let me know in the comments if you guys would want to see me make like a bunch of cute builds, and maybe I could give like tutorials on those builds on how I do them. I think it would be a fun series. I think you guys would like it. It'd be cute for the Minecrafts. As you can see in the video, I finished rounding off the corner. I added the throne, and I finally closed it off. And I figured I separate the candles, like once brown and once purple, because you know I thought it'd be a cute little touch, just having them a little bit separate. And then I wanted to make like a nice little pedestal, but I couldn't do really much, so I just put like a block there as like a pedestal. And I wanted to add a little bit more details, so I decided to add the bamboo trapdoors, which I think complements raw gold blocks very well. Like, I did not think it would actually complement that well. It proves me wrong. It looks so good. I was so impressed with how good the bamboo looked. Like, it almost makes it look like a light. Which I might actually do that on some of the lights in the future, maybe. Like, that genuinely might be a good idea for me to try with lights. And it could be like a cute little like lamp or chandelier, and it could be really cute. Which is funny because I end up using lamps in some future builds for you guys that I made, but you'll definitely enjoy that. I decided to try to keep the yellow theme, and I wanted to get some light in here, but I didn't want it to be like too obvious. So I went ahead and I put some glowstone down in the center, and I put down some yellow carpet. I went for like a dark yellow just to kind of contrast, and this is what I had so far basically. But then I had to add the roof, and I mean that wasn't too bad. I was kind of depending on whether to use the red or the regular sandstone, and I figured let's just go with red sandstone. It's already part of the area. We might as well incorporate it as part of the build just so that it looks like it belongs here, if that makes any kind of sense. Which I think it does. I think it really works well. And then obviously I added the extra layer in the back so that it looks a little bit raised up. And I do like how everything turned out. Everything turned out great, especially with the roof. Especially mainly because I was doing such a very simple roof. And I think that's what makes my builds very intricate, especially when it's like small builds. It's so nice to just do a regular sized roof like this. And for small builds, I feel like that's the best option, is that you just go for the basic flat roof. Meanwhile, the bigger builds, like my barn in the background, that requires a more like structurally built roof, and I do think it worked out very well actually. And at this point, I got to the point where I was trying to figure out what kind of decorations I could use, because I was like, what goes good with yellow? I did add some acacia trees to kind of make it look a little bit more blended, make it look a little bit like an oasis, essentially. I do love how the acacia trees just fit it perfectly in the area, and it worked really well. I tried planting more than I could bargain for, but I managed to get 3 in the front and I think 2 in the back. I also was trying to figure out what I could do for a path, so I figured I'd try something with the coarse dirt, and I think I did go with this initially because I thought it was a good little contrast to all the sand that we had. And I liked the idea that the sand kind of stopped there. And I was like, what else could I add? Like, I wasn't sure what else to add at this point. I tried to see if I could add like cactuses and stuff. I also got the idea to do the little weeping vines because I thought it would look good to have a splash of red on the building. So I kind of just spread those around a bit. I didn't put any inside, mainly just because I couldn't. I tried putting cactus, but unfortunately, because of the slabs, the cactus wasn't going to place, unfortunately, as you can see. So I had to figure something else out, and I thought maybe like I could go off to the side and possibly do like a little like planter for cactus. And obviously I had to move some of the weaving vines around because they weren't growing properly, so I had to move them because the trapdoors were blocking them. And I actually do love how these turned out. They looked really good. It was a nice splash of color against the, you know, the bland sandstone without it being too much. And I always say this, red and yellow are good colors to mix together, especially when it's like a yellow, like sand yellow, and a dark red. Oh, this is where I added the, or tried to add the little cactus planter. And, you know, I tried adding doors, or trapdoors specifically, but unfortunately, you can't place trapdoors next to cactus, I found out. And so I just ended up completely scrapping this idea because I was just like, okay, this isn't gonna work. This is not gonna work at all. What am I supposed to do? And, you know, I figured, why not, instead of having like little cactus farms, I just spread around some slabs and make them look like rock formations. Because we've done rock formations before, but I've never done any with the red sandstone slabs. And I think it looked really good. Like, I think it really complements the area. It makes it look a rocky type desert area. I might have added a little too much, but I think it turned out okay. And then I got this cute little idea. So, like, you know how they have like the fences, but they don't connect? I thought about doing that, but instead I used the bamboo trapdoors to also complement the ones that are, you know, just hanging on the walls of the shrine. I also went inside and I wanted to add a little bit of extra glowstone just to make sure it had that nice little glow to it. I thought about adding the carpet on the sides as well as in the center for the pedestals, but I'm like, it seems like a little too much carpet. But this is the build. I think it looks really, really good. Honestly, it turned out a lot better than I expected it to. I definitely love how the gold and the sandstone work together, and then the weaving vines really just complement the place. Like, it looks so good, and I'm so proud of my throne chair that I made. And the pedestal shrines look really nice. The gold chair is honestly the complementary, as well as the weeping vines and the glazed terracotta. Those are the big complementaries to this build, I think. And so I eventually went into my journal and I wrote in day 5, and I wasn't sure what to call this at first, and I eventually decided to go with the Golden Shrine. At least that's what I called it in the book. And eventually I went and called it the Shrine of the Golden God. I was going to try to spell deity, but it did not work out. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Just Build. Remember, if you want to see more, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more of my content. And with that, I hope to see you all next time for some more builds. Until then, hope to see you in the Fox Den. Bye-bye, everyone!